Hello everyone, Bridget Casey with Bridget Casey Designs here today for ScrapbookPal.com. I am so excited to share a super duper cute set with you from Catherine Pooler, More Peeking Pets. As you guys know, I love my little furs that I have and all of the furs around me, so I just adore this adorable set. I'm then going to get my Misty out, and we are going to take some Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, a piece of cardstock that is safe for alcohol markers. I'm going to lay my dies face down and layer the stamp into the die so that I can cut out that specific image that I want to use. And this birthday card is going to be a 70th birthday card for my mom. My mom absolutely adores dogs. And so I wanted to create a card for her with a dog on there, and I decided to choose, she had a dog named Buffy, who is this kind of light brownish color. So that's the reason for my color choices today. I start by laying down kind of where the curls would be in the hair and the ears next to the head, under the eyes next to the muzzle, and some at the top of the head. That would be where I would believe my darkest places to be. Now we'll come in with E44 and we're going to pull those out a little bit more. I'm going to go over the little kind of curls in the ears. If you've ever seen a Cocker Spaniel, they have kind of wavy ears. So that's what I was trying to mimic by following along the lines that the graphic designer was nice enough to leave for me. I'm pulling it all out with E42, and then finally E41, we will pull it all in. And at this point, my, as I'll call him, Buffy dog is looking a little pale. I wanted some of that clay E44 color back. I wanted it a scotch darker. So I'm putting a second layer of my E44 and then following up with my E43 and just pulling those out. And I did pull out my E43 a bit further than I had before. Then my E42, I'm pulling that down onto the muzzle and filling it in. Now I'm lining up my die, and this is a trick if you want to die cut the whole thing in one pass. You would want to cut those little, like the ball of yarn and the bone and the little mouse and all of that. You would want to cut those out of the dies first with wire cutters before doing this technique. Next, we're going to move on to our balloons because it's a birthday card. So I want to do some birthday balloons, and I'm using Balloon Bunch from Altenew. It has some different shaped balloons on there, and since it was a card for my mom, I wanted to go ahead and use the heart balloon. So I've got so far lemongrass sage. Now I'm going with pink champagne, and it looked a little funny there to me. So I was like, oh, I'll stamp it again. And then it still kind of looked a little funny. So I cleaned it off, and I'm going to stamp it one more time. And the funny thing is I end up using the first balloon that I stamped. So I guess that's the way that it goes sometimes, right? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the orange peel. And we will finish up with rouge. Now, the reason I went in the order I did with colors is I went from like lightest to darkest, essentially. So that way I hopefully wouldn't get any color contamination on my stamp as I went through. I've picked a sentiment, Birthday Blessings, from the Altenew Balloon Bunch set. And now I'm going to go ahead with my Versafine Clair, and I'm going to stamp that out. Now be careful, that is a pigment ink. So here are all my balloons. I've gone ahead and I've die cut them out, and my little dog too, my little Buffy, and then my little tag that says Birthday Blessings. Now we have to pull this all together and create a card with it. And I kind of didn't really know where I was going at this point, to be honest. I knew I wanted the dog. I knew I wanted the balloons. I thought the dog was going to go at the bottom, as you can see where the position is right now. And I thought, okay, I'll put the dog in the bottom and I'll throw the sentiment on there somewhere with some balloons, and it didn't work out that way. So now we're going ahead and we're putting on some thread. You'll see that I put a little bit of tape runner. I put the thread there, and then I put a little bit of washi tape on there. I really want that thread to hold because I'm going to be tugging on it just a little bit. I'm going to tie a knot. Well, yeah, I guess a knot in the end with it. It's not a bow, just a knot. And so I want to make sure that that's really on there so that if I'm moving my threads around, that it doesn't let go, because Once it's attached, it's really super difficult to go back and put those threads on there. So, and I did leave my threads really super long so I would have enough space to put my balloon strings anywhere, because if you cut them too short, you're going to really be stuck as to where you can put things. So that's kind of where I thought we were going at this point. And no, I was wrong. So I put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the sentiment strip because I'm like, oh, I'll just put all the balloon strings underneath the sentiment strip. And no, so I changed my mind again. And I added a little strip of glitter cardstock I had on my desk. And so I'm just going to pop that on there. And then I used foam dimensionals on the back of that. So I just trimmed that with my scissors to mimic the cut I had made previously. So that's why I put the tape runner on the back there, because I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I will tuck the balloon strings behind the sign. They'll stick right to it. I won't have to worry. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. Let's tie a knot in these little balloon strings. And so just in case, that way I can kind of move it around if I want to. I still intended, look how cute that is though. It fluffs them all out. It fluffs them all up, the balloon strings. Oh, so cute. And so I'm just trimming off the extra bits from where I tied my knot. And I'm still thinking, I picked up the card and shook off if there were any little pieces. So as you can see, I'm still thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how the card is going to end. And I was like, oh goodness, where am I going to stick the little peeker? And I just happened to put it there and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I wish I would have thought of this from the beginning, but that's okay. That's how it ended up as a card. So it was super duper cute. And I love that he's peeking out from behind the saying and it looks like he has the balloons. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek at the More Peeking Pets from Catherine Pooler. Don't forget to head on over to click subscribe on the ScrapbookPal.com YouTube channel. Until next time, happy crafting.